Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Well, it seems like Ukraine and Russia do what they do best. They just shell one another and are not able to break the front in any location. The Ukrainian counteroffensive is over, or at least in order to be, how should I say it, optimistic, which I usually am not. This is the first phase. Hoping that it's going to be, not hoping, but if a second phase and a third phase will occur, which I don't think will. But nevertheless, let's give them the benefit of the doubt. The Russians are not advancing anywhere as of now, and if they do, they maybe do a little, gains. But instead, they all launch missiles. That's what they've been doing for the past, 3 months continuously without really changing too much besides the counteroffensive. So this article comes from the New Voice of Ukraine from Monday, September 19th, 2022. Russian invaders launched 25 missile and airstrikes on Ukraine in the past day, says General Staff. All right, let's see. According to the Ukrainian military, the enemy also carried out more than 90 attacks from multiple launch rocket systems on various objects in the territory of Ukraine. The Russians have launched another 3 missile strikes since the beginning of September 19th. The General Staff said the enemy had damaged the infrastructure of more than 30 settlements in the past day, including in Mykolaiv, Zaporozhye, Soledar, Bilohriva, Navopil, and about 10 more, I would say. I'm not going to break my tongue for them. It's little towns, villages. Is not something that I would mention if would be, but it's not something I would recognize, or you, I think, but I don't want to insult your information that you got. At the same time, the threat of air and missile strikes remains across the entire territory of Ukraine. In addition, the enemy attacked with tanks, mortars and artillery in the past 24 hours, namely in the Slobozazke area near Hoptivka, Kamyanka and Kupiansk, in the Krematorsk area, and it mentions 4 here. And then it says in the Bakhmut area, and it mentioned 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like 9 settlements. In the Avdiivka area, like far, in the Novopavlivka and Zaporozhye areas. In the South Bukh area, the enemy was shelling along the entire contact line. More than 18 settlements came under fire, including Bila, Krenista, Viskopila and Andriivka. All right, so everything I read in this, remember, this is a Ukrainian news outlet, so obviously they will say whatever they want. Everything it was just missiles and airstrikes. No, the only thing was the tanks that I saw, but I don't know if the tanks were really advancing like you have it in a blitzkrieg by the Germans in the north France coming from the lowlands. That would be, or otherwise it's just a positional exchange of fire exchange. That's what I see here. Nothing from the Ukrainian side. The Ukrainians did not report anything stating that they will, or they advanced anymore in any more areas. As I said, counteroffensive, I think, is either stopped by the Russians or stopped because the Ukrainians ran out of steam, meaning they don't have the power, being obviously blocked by the, I was about to say Germans, by the Russians. So the same, we are back at shelling one another. For how long? We'll see how the arms production works. Obviously, the Ukrainian arms production is from overseas, from its sponsors, Russia has to produce it and use its stockpile, which at one point will be depleted if it goes like this. But we'll see what they got in store, because they already have there are two things that are working in, I would say, Russia's interest or advantage. One is the weather. And why do I say the weather? Because when weather comes, people use energy more, okay? And energy comes from Russia towards Europe. So then you have Europe that will start squeaking, wailing, crying, and peeing itself, you know, because they're gonna have a big problem. It's not only that the government will pay for gas or something. You will not have enough gas. That's the thing. So and the government is not going to pay for that from its own pockets. It's going to borrow from international banking systems, which the citizens will have to pay back, and their, you know, children, grandchildren, and so on. So because of the decision of these weasels, Germany, for instance, is going to be in a regression, and the United States is not going to be depleted as German economy is. And they're going to have a lower standard of living, which the population, not the weasels up there, okay? So that's one thing, is the weather, and obviously that is connected with the energy. They will provide, the sponsors will provide the Ukrainians with arms. They will continue doing that until the population will start saying that what's going on here, we're having a bad life and you sending over there. I don't know if they're going to put one with one, put them together here, but definitely that depends on the mass media. And as the mass media is the corporate mass media, and there are some corporations who make money, which is the military-industrial complex, energy, you know, companies, and the banking system, banking world, international banking system, they will make sure that the mass media will try to portray this Ukraine war and help as being a moral duty, and if you don't, you're not on, you know, on the same boat with them, then you're not on board, then you are a bad dude, and that means you are a Russian or a Putin supporter or Sturge, whatever, and the Russians will attack you. The next day Ukraine falls. I mean, remember that idiot, the same kind of theory that was the domino theory or whatever. It was in the East Asia, and it was, oh, if we allow Vietnam to fall to the communists, the whole Indochina and Asia will become communist. What are you talking about? You got 1 billion people over there in China turn communist, and you care about Vietnam, and then Laos, Cambodia, and all that, which eventually, you know. All right, so this is the idea. We just hit you, you hit me, and hopefully your sponsors will start crying and put pressure on the big boss, which is the United States, to cut the crap and do something. Unless, you know, maybe the Ukrainians have the power to push the Russians out, and those guys going to use the nuclear weapons, and then we meet over there. Or there. I think I will meet you there for certain. I don't know where you go. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.